peace.
Peace.
Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. We are the Great Movement, and today I have a special invited guest. Would you can introduce yourself?
I'm Koia.
And is there anything you want to let people know, or
um, I am a creative person. I'm an artist. I make music. I draw. And he wanted me on a show.
yeah, definitely, or just wanting to find what inspires you, some of your
Mm-hmm.
beliefs, I guess, and whatever whatever you feel like getting off your
Okay.
chest and letting the audience know.
In a therapy session.
Yeah, if you want to see it like that, yeah, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Anyone's invited to talk on my show, whether
All
you're
right.
and so yeah, just give us, I guess, what inspires you with your drawings and your music.
Um, I, you know what? I really like Kenneth Anger films. That's a very specific thing to start on, but Kenneth Anger films really inspire me. Any sort of like art house films inspire me. Like, I think probably the most recent art house film that came out would probably be like The Lighthouse. Have you heard of that?
No, no idea. I don't even know
No,
who
it's
Kenneth
amazing. It's
Anger
a all
is.
black and white.
Okay.
Um, it's super atmospheric. Um, and I think you can kind of tell with the video I sent you, it's all black and white and everything.
Yeah.
It's a vibe I like in a
Okay.
film. I
Yep.
like.
And you sent me pictures of your grandfather's work, and
Yeah.
when I saw that, and then I saw the video because you sent me the full length version, I saw it and I was like, okay, I see the vibe here is like some kind of
And
industrial
yeah.
revolution sort of vibe, but it's all black and white, which
Totally industrial.
is a cool medium. And so, so for your music as well, is that the same? You get the same vibes off of that as you would for your drawings?
Pretty much. Yeah, I think it all comes from the same place. Um, like I told you, I just started getting back into music. I just got my Ableton installed again, and I'm getting back into the swing of things. So that's been pretty fun.
Okay.
Um, but my main medium was usually drawing with my digital tablet or physically, like with a pen and paper. But I really enjoy the medium of digital art. Digital art, I think, is really easily accessible, and it's just fun. It's a great way to let out whatever you want to let out.
Yep, just whatever medium you have, that's always a great thing because,
Mm-hmm.
I like just drawing on paper, or not drawing, I don't draw, I write. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
grab a piece of paper and write something.
Right.
So, and then just on top of that, with the theme about industrial revolution, which, like I said, that's kind of the vibe I got from it, like
Yeah.
just like so like from that perspective, what, like, is there a certain message that gives to you when you're looking at I guess, that era?
Um, I sort of think about there's this Richard Brautigan poem. I think it's called uh, "Watched Over by Machines of Loving Grace." I need to look that up real quick so I can read it out. It's a beautiful poem.
Okay.
Just sort of the idea of cybernetics and like nature coming together, and I don't know,
Okay. Because yeah.
the anything industrial I'm into, anything industrial, anything sci-fi, stuff
Okay.
like that. But yeah, that Richard Brautigan poem. Uh,
Okay. But yeah, like I said, when I watched your video that you made or sent to me with the
mhm.
music, the the other vibe I get off of it is, this is before we had the high tech stuff that they have now.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
then how, our country doesn't even really manufacture things like that anymore. I guess it's
It's
all,
just getting into it. Yeah.
yeah. So you don't really see, well, you don't see nothing like that unless, you go and watch an older film.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, how'd you feel about the post? I guess it has a post-war vibe to it as
hmm
well. Is this song from World War I or two?
It's from 1944. Yeah, 1944.
Oh,
It's a U.S. film unlicensed anything unlicensed that I could find that I could
yeah,
add to my video or add to my song
just a
that wouldn't
visual.
give me a copyright strike.
Yeah, well,
But
that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and if it inspires you, and it does, like I said, it gives the music all like a vibe,
absolutely, yeah, it totally changes the vibe.
and but yeah, like I was saying, like so, to me, whenever I see things like that, it's always a precursor to what we're going through now with the technology. Like now we're probably gonna start seeing more AI, cybernetics,
Mm-hmm.
especially with we have self-driving cars, and then of course we have things that they haven't even brought out yet. So
Oh, plenty of things the government doesn't want to let us know about yet. I mean,
so yeah,
I'm sure they're way further ahead of us
yeah.
than.
Then they're letting on.
Yeah, exactly.
So did you ever hear about I guess she's the first AI that got citizenship in Saudi
Oh yeah.
Arabia.
Oh, what was her name?
Is
Do you
it
remember?
Sophia, I believe?
Yes. Yeah, I totally remember that.
You caught that one?
Oh, oh man. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that really. I think a lot of people are paranoid about like an AI overlord or like AIs are going to take over and take all our jobs, like with especially with truck drivers and the
Mhm.
self-driving cars, how most truck drivers are going to be replaced in, I don't know
Yeah.
how many years, 10, 20 years, probably
So
pretty
it's no time soon, but you
soon.
can definitely see what's coming because just
Yeah.
with the self-driving cars themselves, like even the bigger trucks, they're like automatic now. Like you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I I actually took a truck driving course. I can't drive because I have like 9 points on my license, but I
Mm-hmm.
had to learn the old school. Like I had to learn like 16 to 12 different gears to shift in a truck, as
Yeah.
opposed to you can just get in an automatic and anyone can almost drive it now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
see why they have the fears, and then of course you see like McDonald's having the burger flippers, and then we saw the cashier get replaced pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
yeah,
just brought up the truck driving thing because my dad drives trucks and he just retired. And I was talking to him about, you know, at least you got out of it before the AIs take your job, Dad.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's not no time soon. So if you're
No,
listening to this and you're a truck driver,
you're
it's
fine.
yeah, you'll be all right
I'm just
for a long
wondering.
while.
Yeah.
But then yeah, but then that brings up the whole thing, like how far are they gonna go into making certain things obsolete for humans, and then on
Mm-hmm.
top of it, you have this whole pandemic or plandemic, as some people like to call it,
Mm.
where it seems like it's coming to this thing where we're cutting out more people, or not even cutting them out, like more people are dying, and then of course you always get this population control agenda, which
Yeah.
w-
A sort of Darwinist approach to the pandemic.
yeah, which I always I don't see, like I always believe that a lot, like everyone on the planet can have sufficiently can live sufficiently. I don't think we
Yeah.
have an overpopulation problem. I think we have a classist thing where
Right.
some people are getting more and using more of the
Yeah.
resources, and they're just blaming it on on the little fish.
Yeah. It's a total power imbalance
So
between classes.
and yeah, but yeah, from your art I always I get that vibe, like how far out we're gonna keep going with this, and
Mm-hmm.
So, and oh, did you find the poem?
Oh,
If you want to read it
I
out,
should.
that'll be fine.
I'll watch over. I had to get it up again. Okay. I like to think, the sooner the better, of a cybernetic meadow where mammals and computers live together in mutually programming harmony, like pure water touching clear sky. I like to think, right now please, of a cybernetic forest filled with pines and electronics, where deer stroll peacefully past computers as if they were flowers with spinning blossoms. I like to think, it has to be, of a cybernetic ecology where we are free of our labors and joined back to nature, returned to our mammal brothers and sisters, all watched over by machines of loving grace. I thought that was beautiful.
Okay. Well, that's yeah. That's a little like a nice, nice painting for just how AI should, help humanity.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you got the people that might look deeper into that and see the AI like over like you said, an overlord basically, because you
Yeah.
get the dystopian thing, which I think is not. I don't know. I don't think that's a big thing because
No.
robots
I
work with logic, or the systems work with logic. They don't work with emotional things.
They work with what humans give them. And if we're building systems on, say, like facial recognition, um, it's all built by humans. They're just learning from humans. So anything fucked up that the robots are doing, we're teaching them essentially.
Yeah, program them because yeah, we do enjoy killing one another and dividing
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. So yeah, you can't blame the AI.
No, no.
So anyway, so I wanted to bring up like, so what kind of you care to talk about some of your past works or your upbringing? Like what inspired, the Elfie or Koi that we see today?
Um, my I sent you my grandfather's surrealist photography. Things like that really inspired me when I was growing up. And um, my mom was a big, big hippie. She followed the Grateful Dead,
Okay.
and she always encouraged me to be creative and to express myself in any way that I could. And I wasn't raised religious per se, but I had like concepts of what Abrahamic God is,
Mhm.
and I had the freedom to experience religion and spirituality in the way that I wanted to. So I definitely don't take that for granted at all. I think that was a great way to be raised.
Definitely.
Um, and I think technically we're Christians. My dad likes to say, but
Okay.
I yeah, but really I can't call myself any one thing. Otherwise, I feel claustrophobic and like I need to change something. I wish I could have that aha moment where I I start going to Catholic church or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I've been through that journey, and yeah, it's I found my own occult thing more of a outlet for spirituality, because when you go into other systems, oh, like you said, you
Right.
get put in that box, and it
Mm-hmm. It
shouldn't.
gets
Yeah,
claustrophobic.
it shouldn't. Your spirituality and your experience with life itself should never be contained. I mean, we're already
Mm-hmm.
contained enough, just from the sheer fact that humans are, I guess, an animal of repetitiveness, because we get
Yes.
up every day and basically do the same thing every day.
Mm-hmm. Creatures of habit.
So and creatives like us, we need that outlet to break ourselves from that system.
Or else we'll go nuts.
Well, some people actually enjoy that system, and
Yeah.
yeah, they go 40, 50 years and go to work every day and that sort of thing. So, do you care to expand on how your human or your systematic living is? Like, do you have anything from
Um,
there that you care to
like my
share?
spiritual beliefs.
Just your, well, not even that. Just like, is there something you hate doing that you have to do, or do you have any kind of? I guess I want to say like what like do you use your systematic approach to well, not systematic approach to life, just from your everyday living? Like, do you get moments where you're like, I need to break out of this, or
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think in those moments are probably when I start to write, or if I start to draw or start to do anything creative. Those are the moments when I feel like I need to let something out. I think I can't really do something creative unless I feel like I have something that I need to get out of me.
okay? And you did like the stuff you shared. I will put it up on the video version of this for my YouTube channel, and I will post
Oh,
them up.
cool.
And if you care to share, like with any of those, like what kind of emotional mood were you in when you created some of those pieces?
Um, Desperation mostly.
Okay.
Desperation just for um, just creative release. Like after I finish a song or I finish a piece of artwork, I get the most overwhelmingly just wonderful feeling of like accomplishment. Like I accomplished this. I made this thing that I like.
Oh,
And that is probably the most freeing feeling that breaks me out of my wanting to break free feeling.
yeah, just the constricted, like you said. You, we eventually, like, people should usually feel claustrophobic in their life because, like I said, is you're
Yeah.
basically in a box in a loop, and sometimes
Yeah.
you have to break out of that. And on top of that, do
Mm-hmm.
you have any kind of spiritual practices that you use, or have you ever had some kind of, I guess, ESP moment or femin what is it, phenomenon that you've had, like maybe ghosts, UFOs? Have you ever had any kind of event that happened like that that actually
Yeah.
changed your views on anything?
Well, ever since I was really little, I was always obsessed with, like fairies and mermaids and all that, and just like any normal girl or boy. I mean,
Yep.
uh, but I am pretty sure I've had encounters with fae or
Mm-hmm.
fairies. Um, I would leave out little offerings and I would leave letters and I would get things back. And I would like every this sounds nuts, but every once in a while I'd hear like a little giggle
Okay.
and just little things like that made me think, wow, maybe we aren't the only ones here. Maybe there are other creatures here that can't, maybe they're not on this plane, but they're here and they want to communicate with
Yep.
us.
Definitely. I feel, yeah. I'm with you there. I know because from my whole own personal belief, I feel like realities are basically just layered on each other. And as
Mm-hmm.
you said, maybe those fairies are just right outside this realm. Like they can, like, I feel like we're on the realm where everyone can see everything we're doing, but we can't go
Yeah.
out and we can't see what they're doing.
Yeah, we're like on the base plane level and they're all
Hmm.
up higher than we are.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, so yeah,
I,
I
I
personally,
definitely.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. I was just gonna say I definitely believe in elementals
Okay.
and uh, creatures like that. Because I mean, there's lots of folklore about them in Irish Celtic mythology, Scottish mythology, and stuff.
Nope.
And I can't help but trust a lot of um, the recordings of
Yeah.
them
And
in history.
that's one thing we do not like, even today, like today's society, like we don't give enough credit to our ancient civilizations, which obviously had some kind of vast knowledge that we can't even comprehend now, because some of the feats that they
Mm-hmm.
have done, like we have not been able or we haven't been able to replicate anything like pyramids. And I guess the Great Wall was supposedly another big thing that, by today's
Mm-hmm.
standards, and even with all our cranes and stuff, we cannot build any of that stuff even to this
Yeah,
day.
it still holds up. It's still an insane feat of human existence.
So, yeah, and like you said, that ancient text and knowledge and stuff, like we don't look
Yeah.
deep into that. And the other thing with that whole aspect is when a historian or some other, I guess, kind of scholar brings things up like that, I guess all your mainstream scientists and other scholars kind of laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
And
But people are going to be laughing at those same scholars in 50 years, probably.
yeah,
We can't hold any feelings of, I don't know, we can't think we're better than the people that came before us just because we have a different perspective. They had a different perspective,
mm-hmm.
and we have plenty to learn from them, just as we have plenty to learn from people who probably haven't even been born yet.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And that's another issue that I always have with our society, that we have an issue where we get people into this wage slave. And if they're born under a circumstance where they can't afford to go to school, or they're just in a bad environment, I mean, God, willingly they will rise above all that, but sometimes they just get lost into that whole environment. And you know
lost in power
yeah, and you
disparities.
don't get your cure for cancer or someone that can advance humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
And with art, I'm sure those are the people we're trying to reach.
Mm-hmm. I I think without art, society would be very, very sad. And I think we owe a lot of credit to artists and creatives all over the globe, because if it weren't for them, we probably wouldn't be having very much fun
Yeah,
at
definitely.
all.
Like, and even we wouldn't have other, or we wouldn't have, I guess, I can't even think of the word now, but we wouldn't be able to create new stuff if we didn't have some kind of foundation laid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, always respect what came before you.
Definitely.
Always.
And just, yeah, and that's the other thing, like just how science, I feel like science is also its own art, is just when you get these big people saying, oh, this is how it is, and people fail to realize, like, there's a possibility what they just said is wrong, but they take
Mm-hmm.
it like, okay, they don't
It's
yeah, and they
gospel.
don't need to look outside of it. And it's like, no, you need to keep finding faults, you need to keep advancing,
Yeah.
building on.
Keep asking
Yeah,
questions. Always ask
tear the
questions.
shit down, start over, whatever. But yeah, creatives and free thinkers are need to just continue continue to fight.
Unite. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't think they get taken as seriously as people who, rise and grind, that sort of thing.
Yep, just putting in their 8 hours at the.
You know. Which, props to every person that does that, because that is such a difficult thing to do for anyone. Um but yeah, I don't think there's enough credit given to
Yep.
creatives.
And if you're doing both, which, yeah, I've been there, and I'm sure you've been there, just working
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
little whatever to get by. and then just having the
Yeah.
ambition to be like, you know what, I don't want to keep doing that. Let's push and be creative and, make something for ourselves. Because I don't know if you're into the whole, I guess, psychology and programming of your own mind, where
Mm.
let's just say like if you're listening to, I guess, a certain song or music, if you're not if it's something like negative, it will impact your whole mindset. Do you follow into any of
Right.
that? Like unconsciously you're absorbing something and building it, and then you're wondering why things aren't turning out good.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with social media and just media in general that we kind of mindlessly consume. And we get all these subconscious messages that we obviously aren't recognizing are coming at us and we're absorbing, but they greatly, greatly impact us in our daily lives. Just like we were talking about, we don't like YouTube. I think YouTube is probably, you know, depending on the videos you watch, it could be detrimental to your mental health
Yep.
easily.
It's all just what you follow. And like, as much like, one of my platforms I really don't like is Facebook, because everyone has
Ooh,
this just, I don't know, everyone thinks the world is just revolving around them, which that's fine
yeah.
on a certain level, but at some other point you need to think outside of your own zones and actually try to challenge your own self to change. Like, because all I ever see on there, and I started unfollowing people that are like that, but you'll see
Hmm.
someone complaining about something, and it's like, what are you doing to change that?
Yeah, they just want to complain basically and see people complaining with them about the same thing,
Misery
kind of.
loves company for sure.
Exactly.
And with social
Exactly.
media, it should not, definitely shouldn't be like that. It should be just building on. We should be challenging each other, like, because I've I was
Mhm.
listening to some, and it's like basically they said that everyone wants change, but no one wants to change themselves for it.
Yeah.
And that's with
Right.
this whole social media. Like, we should be changing the world basically. And even now with this whole, everyone's shut in their own homes and stuff, like, this is a great opportunity for everyone to do that. But everyone,
Everyone's making bread.
yeah, well, everyone's also looking at conspiracy theories now, and everyone is going insane with it. Like,
Yeah.
why are you fighting about that? Like, we know something's up. Like, it's time to change and not feed your energy into that one venue where you're just like, look, they planned this, or like I said, what is it? They believe this was a pandemic.
The
And then
pandemic.
and then you
My
have
God.
other people that don't even believe that people are dying from it.
That really
Yeah, and
scares
then
me.
there was one more, and then you have the other side of the spectrum where people are really fearful of it, where they're just like, they don't want to
Hmm.
make contact with anyone. And it's this, like I said, it's a polarity, but it's all the same thing. And people need to kind of get in the middle, be a free thinker, but don't get sucked into your conspiracies or whatever they're doing.
Right.
Because I mean, if you think about manipulation from the government, like, it's been done over and over and over. Like, there's documentation out there about, I guess, like, just recently, what they put out a UFO video, and that yeah, and
Oh
that just
yeah.
kind of flew right off the radar. It's like, holy shit, they have this, but no one reacted to it.
Uh-huh. Everyone's like, yeah, there's a pandemic coming up. We all know aliens are real, government. We all know.
Yeah, and then I mean, you have people that have been saying this for years, and everyone's like, oh yeah, whatever. But finally, the government admits it, and it's just like, almost like a footnote in the newspaper.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I can't imagine being an alien and wanting to come to Earth right now. But if they came right now, that would be, I don't know if it would be amazing or if it would be absolutely horrendous.
It's no telling. And, you know, I really believe they kind of can already see what's going on because, like I was saying,
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole layered reality, I'm sure they can pick up like some of our social media and just be like, what is wrong with what's wrong with them?
Yeah. What's wrong with all you people? My God.
So all right, so yeah, so with the whole COVID and how's that experience been for you so far?
It's been fine. I mean, I spend a lot of my time inside anyway, so not much has changed on that front. But going out and trying to get toilet paper has been a struggle because everyone's panic buying shit, and people are literally buying up all the vodka for the alcohol to
Time
use
to
in
get
it.
into another spirit, probably.
Yeah. So that has been difficult, but other than that, my daily life hasn't changed that much.
Well, that's good because
Yeah.
I got laid off from my whole thing, and if you've listened to me, they already know my little story.
Yeah. Yeah, I listened to a little bit of the previous podcast.
So, and then on top of that, like, how do you see this whole pandemic, planned, whatever you want to call it? Like, how has it resonated with you? Like, what viewpoint has changed for you?
It makes me appreciate communication more, and it makes me appreciate connection with people more, and to see people come together and, you know, exchange resources, like neighbors who maybe need toilet paper, you know, need sugar. It's created more of a community locally, just on my block, you know. So that's been really nice. I really appreciate the newfound community that I found. Even on, you know, I'm gonna plug Phenomenology Club. Phenomenology Club is awesome, and I've been talking to lots of the folks on there, and they're pretty cool.
Shout out to
So
Phenomenology Club and the Buttress.
Yeah, shout out to Butchers.
D&D and yoga. I know y'all have like daily activities going on that I never really get into.
Yeah, I took part in the yoga. I took part in a Jillian Michaels shred team thing.
Yeah. Shout out to Jillian Michaels. I would love to get that sponsorship, and so would Feminology as well. So
yeah, spawn us, Jillian. Come on,
and
do it.
yeah, I was on I am on the D&D campaign with them as well. So and yeah,
awesome.
and yeah, also if you're listening, you can join it. It's a Discord group, and I believe she's on the Patreon.com. I'll link all that up. I don't know it like off the top of my head.
Yeah, I believe it's Phenomenology Club.
Okay, yeah, Patreon. Just put that in your search, and you can definitely find it.
Raw cool. And we'll be nice to you, I promise.
We have a very creative club there. There's a lot of eccentric and different people, and everyone there, like I said, they love creating things. And
yeah, I can honestly say I've never joined a community before where I've seen so many creatives in one spot who are all so kind, and they're all so humble about their work and sharing their work with their friends on there. It's really sweet to see.
It's definitely gotten me to where I'm creating as well. So I definitely it's motivating, and because I've been written and did stuff for years, and I want to say I started creating YouTube videos, and then I kind of like always I followed Buttress on the Twitter, and Like I
Mm-hmm.
kept seeing it. For some reason, I kept thinking it was some kind of feminist club. So that's why I never actually joined it. And come to find out, like I was an idiot and was like, "Oh, it's feminology, not feminist or whatever." I was thinking. So yeah,
That's
so yeah.
hilarious.
Nah,
Did you
I've
tell her
never
that?
told her
I'm
that
like, I've.
because I've followed, like I said, I followed her for like probably a year or two or something like that, and for some
Yeah.
reason it didn't
Oh,
click
that's
that it was
hilarious.
feminology. So yeah, or I
Phenomenology.
can't. It's like a tongue twister for me. So
It's one of those words.
yeah,
Anemone. Cinnamon.
but yeah, it's an awesome community, and so
Yeah. That's been really helpful during this time. Having a place to go online and talk to people and feel like, I'm part of something, and there's no
no
germs, no
germs, yeah,
virus around
no
to fuck
germaphobe.
with
Well,
me.
I don't know if there's germaphobes in the club. I'm sure there is, but
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
but yeah, it's definitely a nice community, and the more the merrier, I guess. And
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, and that's how I found Elfie on there. I liked one of her beats and the whole vibe of her video, which, like I said, I'll also link that as well. And yeah, so
Right on.
and you were just talking about club. We shouted dumb out. Did you want to shout out your little neighborhood as well, wherever on the West Coast you're at?
Oh, shout out Fullerton, shout out
There you
Orange
go.
County, Southern
And
California.
oh, go ahead.
And you're in North
Yeah,
Dakota, right?
yep. Mine out North Dakota. We just actually opened back up. They're slowly. I don't know
Good.
if it spiked. I don't really check that whole map thing.
It's anxiety
Yeah,
inducing,
and
isn't
it's
it?
here. Like, yeah, you got the people that don't wear masks, and you have people that wear masks, and it's kind of a really mixed bag
Yikes.
here. And I've been noticing a lot
Yeah.
of say no to weather modification signs out, so that lets me know.
What does that
From
mean?
what I was reading, is something called cloud seeding that they do to, I guess, to water crops and stuff. So, yeah,
Oh.
and I mean, on top of that, like I don't trust it either because if you've heard of Project Harp and things like that with them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've
So
I've heard of that.
it's better not to mess with nature.
Oh, for sure. Otherwise, nature will fuck you back.
Well, with this whole pandemic and this virus, I feel like that's basically the Earth saying, "Stop fucking with me." Yeah,
Saying fuck
basically.
you. Yeah. I mean, didn't it start with people eating back
Yeah,
soup? So I mean,
allegedly, I'm not sure. There's so many things with that. Like they say, it's a registered
it could be a
virus with
lot.
Bill Gates, and he wants to put vaccines, and then you get the chip and stuff. Like it's just layers and layers and layers of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it was just from the Chinese wet markets where they saw the
Okay,
exotic
yep. So
animals.
you hear a lot of different things, and who knows what is what? Because
Yeah, who knows? So many conspiracies to
all
ruminate over and
yeah,
get
all this
paranoid about.
because they want to chip you and they want to vaccinate you. And then there was another weird aspect of it. They say Bill Gates talked about something like this on I don't know if it was a TED Talks or say, but he was talking about overpopulation, which, like I said, I don't agree with that at all. I don't even believe it's a thing. But yeah, so people are paranoid about him talking about that, and then all of a sudden he's trying to make a vaccine for the COVID. So yeah, it's definitely fishy.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about one of the medications that they're putting COVID patients on, and it's got plenty of really horrendous side effects. I'm not saying no to vaccines at all or no to medicine, but just hearing the accounts from these people who have taken the medicine, who have obviously suffered terrible terrible side effects from their actual virus. It's terrifying. It's terrifying to hear about. And I feel so bad for these people that are
Guinea pigs,
being
basically.
just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Because they're on.
exactly.
And then there's another weird thing I saw that they were actually using ketamine as one of the drugs to treat COVID. Oh,
That's
definitely. I'm
interesting.
sure some people are like, hey, I have it right here. So,
I mean, if I got COVID, I'd want to be treated with ketamine. I'll be
you'll
that
be the
guinea pig.
testimony for that one. Like, hey, I want to be in a K hole the whole time I'm on this virus is in me. So, but
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
that was weird. I did see that on one of the or links that I looked up, and it was on Facebook somewhere.
Wow, I didn't hear about that one. I'm not on Facebook anymore, so I don't get to see all these cool articles that you're looking at.
I'm only on there because like I do have to network and try to find people to interview and here and there. Which most of my interviews so far have been from everyone in Feminology Club. So
yeah,
besides my first guest, which was someone that was on Facebook, Miklo Tesla, that was a cool interview because he was talking about flamenco, like, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this. He was actually on, I guess, making a timeline for history, but he was using like the alignment of the stars and stuff like astrology. Which, yeah, I started on the book, and of course, I have not finished it. So
that's usually how it goes.
And this was an audio book, and man, it was, I want to say it was like 18 hours worth of, but anyway, yeah, dude. And that was, like I was saying, I was going back on someone that goes against the grain of, mainstream, I guess, scholars. Because he's one of those scholars that they're saying, oh, he's nuts and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, I don't think we should look down on anyone for trying to teach themselves what they want to teach themselves.
Is more than enough for everyone to talk. Because you always he actually brought that, or Miklo brought that up to me. He said when you see a commercial about 9 out of 10 dentists agree, and it's like, what did that one dentist, what did he see that he didn't like?
Yeah, what did he say? What did that say?
So yeah, have you made any, are you thinking about any art, or have you created something during this whole pandemic, or has it just been the beats so far?
Been the beats. Actually, my drawing tablet broke, so I've been mainly doing the beats, and ordered a new synthesizer. I haven't had a new keyboard in ages, so I'm really, really excited about that. And I'm gonna be making plenty more beats. I'm working on a few more right now. I'll be uploading them on namirazrot.bandcamp.com. I can link that to you whenever. But yeah, mainly what I'm doing right now during this pandemic is just making music, and that's about it. I mean, I've been really enjoying making the little videos with the songs, and I'm hoping to release more and more of them.
Yep, we'll make sure we link that up so everyone can check it all out and support, the starving artists that we are. And
yeah.
But yeah, so let's see, is there anything else you wanted to discuss, get into, besides your promoting yourself as well?
Not that I can think of, unless you have any other
not
questions.
At the time, so we can we'll just wrap it up there, and we'll definitely have you on again, though. So it was a pleasure having you.
Okay.
And so this is Antonio Ortiz and Koia. So like I said, we'll have her on definitely again. And this was We Are the Great Movement podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one.